Sentinels. Make some noise, Toronto. Let's get this one started.
Now, Sentinels just the other day did debut their Sunset against Billy. You know, curiously, after banning it in their first game against Wolves, they have an all-time 75% win record on this map.
XLG on the defense here. Raga gets flashed onto the corner, but Bang is waiting for a coconut chucked a little bit low, but sticks it. Hangs around, and John makes quick work of Midi as well. He looks to try and swing off contacts with coconut. Now it's Beaver and Happyway. Neither particularly proximate to the site as Happyway steps up first, going over a bit of a solo endeavor. Was able to sidestep that relay bolt and aware that Zekin is still on the corner, and eventually there's going to be a multi-swing coming his way. He has to know it. Viva's still not here. Happyway's fighting for himself right now.
Viva slowly creeping through the link. No, going to double up. XLG opting to play together here. They know where Zekin is. We can't going to get that information towards the backside as they scale forward. Time dwindling a bit.
At some point, they've got to give us a tap. Here's Zelda's on the swing, but again, the spacing. Zekin finally arrives. Happyway got it to half the slide on it. It's good! Red Bull clutch for Zekin.
Dangerous. But what I like from XLG on these rounds is that they play it basically like they still have a full buy. Really strong fundamentals in these rounds. Really great trades. He's also saw this late lurk in mid, though. Wants to find a timing with that stinger after the spike's been planted.
And he's heard the obvious rotate through Boba.
There.
Sen, no, Sheila Gamey are coming. What the grid do they want to challenge forward to the Outlaw? It's a tough ask. Zekin's able to cut them down and then happy to walk away. It's on Midi and Coconut. Sheriff for the latter. And Midi says, you know what? Yeah, I think we're probably pretty cooked here. John, though, would love an early Rolling Thunder. He's about to get more than he bargained for potentially on this swing out. And yes, we'll be dropping that stinger away. Zelsa should be quick enough here to take the kill. Midi will be unaware, not on the line. That's XLG all turned into all orbs.
Second with a couple.
Sen might look to show presence early in mid. That's the standard top mid smoke thrown.
Kuka mentioned on the desk. I'm interested to see how effective Midi is going to be in this Breach debut for him. Hasn't played it at all with Trace's team this year.
They're going to play off the fault line here. Sentinels starting to make their way on towards this B site. C's thrown in. Happyway is going to be forced to remain in this position. Paranoia, though, coming through from that Boba direction. That's XLG trying to set something up, but their anchors aren't ready to actually play off of that util. But there's Coconut and Happyway coming alive. And John brought down in seconds. Raga finally joins the party, but his team has paved the way.
Look at that from XLG, the way that they all just swing out of that dark cover.
The refresh of that one way is massive. That is going to bleed some more clock, but Raga is already nipping at the heels, start to make his way up from main. Narrate knows the pressure's coming. Turns the flash, and 3 players from XLG, 4 in fact, set up, and Zekin is here to mow them down. One more for the Blood God, he says, I'll have them all.
Absolutely stunning. It was after that aforementioned BLG loss that they go on an 8-match win streak. Beating them again. Viva with the first shot, second in a little bit of trouble, but John's there to support. Cleans up those 2 anchors in market. Site now vacant. Throwing the plant over to Narrate. That's going to get him the Nightfall.
That's the kind of training Sentinels had to have into the site like this. No free rounds, no clean rounds against XLG. Zekin will be waiting on this now. Coconut sets up, of course, with a smoke over it all to B main. That does leave Zekin as the sole player in the site. Just a little bit of a shoulder peek there. Raga not in a position to follow. Oh, okay. Headlong into that one he goes, but Zekin wants a little more. How does he get away? 10 health in a dream. Of course, that overdrive develops. Fast lane, you'd think would get him out, but somehow Midi's just picked his spot perfectly.
The headshot.
It didn't have to be, really, did it?
No, that's some ridiculous overkill. Midi just going to fall to the spike here. Sen will be very content to get out of this round, only dropping a couple weapons. Economy bolstered at this point, and they get Narrate that plant earlier, so he's got Narrate second to get out of the way.
Again, yeah, some space may be bored here, but Zekin's able to scale back into it. He doesn't even need any help. Narrate gets there. XLG are just cut down. A fertile harvest for Sentinels as they walk into an A side bereft of defenders.
Swings were not perfect from XLG. Trying to jiggle out just a bit. Picked off by Zekin and Narrate, covering both of those angles. at the moment, taking a duel against Zekin is just a death wish. He is in prime form. This has been a Sentinels that have still really been existing under the shadow of the success of last year's roster. I think you mentioned still in the press conferences being asked about TenZ and Saucy.
Yeah, literally,
still.
like, what would Saucy think of this performance? Would TenZ be proud of you? Still, these old legends of the past are being brought up compared to the current roster. And I do think, I mentioned unredeemed at the start of this game, I do think that a lot of fans are still unsure if they're back on board after the disaster in Bangkok. And you could even suggest, like, what would it take to get people back in Sen City?
Now Zekin extending through elbow. Second Prowler used to clear all of this out, make it safe for him to get right into this site, take the space for the team.
I love that! Happyway reluctantly gave up elbow as the util came in wide, but he never really left.
And that's Raga able to take a clean duel against Bang, who was trying to get through that one-way dark cover. Look at Celsius on an absolutely mad flank. He was just chilling in B main. And now John looks like he wants to get out of
30
dodge
seconds
from
left.
Jordan, come on. Into spawn he goes. Coconut with only a Sheriff. And he's got a sense that Celsius could be somewhere close by. Perhaps not that close. Cyber cage there for Celsius. He might look to play around that neural theft. Also, John holding it down in mid, but time is short. They've got to get John out of mid. And he's brought down by Midi. Celsius would have to try and salvage. He needs to find Raga, but he's run off. There's no chance for Sen in this round.
He's just on the run with the movement. Catching off the spike in mid. John was operating slowly, a little hesitant to cross and snap onto the second, milliseconds before getting traded out. Same from Happyway.
That is a wild TP forward from Coconut. Pinged out though, they've heard it. Coconut by no means is committed here, but look at XLG fighting for mid. They've got Raga up there in the middle as well. Paranoia, Bango has got around in a bit of a timing that XLG aren't ready for. One by one, they crumble. Midi's able to get two on the round, but Happyway's going to fight for his damn life. And I'm sorry. Guys, the time for subtlety is well and truly over. Our drone Zekin wants to get ahead of it. This is a little bit dangerous. He's able to back off the line. Here comes the rolling thunder. Narrate trying to get to a safer spot. Zekin taken down. Over towards Marker was where the thunder went. And XLG now with these sheriffs, recovered rifle. Raga still working with it. Narrow with a shorty. Flash. Raga gets on out there, but Bang steps up for three. Make it four. And Viva, sideline cut off, no step to the side. And Bang is waiting for his just desserts. Not quite the ace though. Viva's recovered rifle goes to work. Sen have still made it a 5-round game. Close by, they know they haven't wrapped because that trapwire is still intact. This timing is important. Now they know Raga has pushed up tiles. Bang went for info himself with that Omen ultimate now. Sentinels have to make a decision. Back to B seems to be the call.
Like this from XLG, they get that pick and they immediately get out of dodge, ready to claim for this retake. Sentinels, they want to opt to get into a B split. Again, the tripwire's still here, going to be very dangerous. Happyway wants to anchor back side.
Raga coming from the top of the map, he has the timing, he can get into mid. But Zekin has already gone to work on the defenders. There's Raga turning up. Found a moment to get top mid, dealt with Celsius and then followed through. For a terrifying Russian duelist. Deficit to work on now. Sen definitely in a position to buy for this round at least. This time they show a little bit towards A, where XLG characteristically make use of Raga to stave any push-off.
Shadows traveling. Dark cover is going to be thrown top mid, but there's a drone re-clear. Oh, no, I do believe it was broken. Coconut wants to get the info here. He's going to be stunned up, but Second can't go in too fast. Lotus right eats that. He is punished for his aggression, his recklessness even.
Yeah, with Coconut already forcing back, that doesn't really feel like XLG.
Viva wants to get here, only has the Sheriff, and now Sen opt to just take the time. Still a minute on the clock, no reason to force things. Again, dark cover just used to obscure the view from top mid. It's going to need to go off. Tight angle connects the headshot, and now doubled up backside. Midi, that duo ready to defend. But look at the insert from Zekin all the way towards elbow.
Door closed over towards market side. Coconut not spotted on that flank. It's going to be John. He'll have util in his hands. It's an easy kill. Oh, it's the spike as well. Now he can refresh the one-way. Paranoia comes in. Sen can't really afford to respect that. They've got to go for it. Zekin doubles back, at least heals. with the Omen that gummed up the works. Now Stinger Sheriff and proper rifle for XLG, but Zekin is waiting again at box.
They want to swing while the spike is going down. Zekin can't connect, neither can the XLG players. Aftershock going to force him right into the fault line. Zekin in danger.
It's Bang though that's really under pressure. Cosmetic stun, apparently the fault line is. And this is more time. Narrate's now been able to join the rest of Sentinels. Shilai Gaming have got Viva here trying to shock dart his way on out. Bang! Caught by that one. A whole 46 points of health stripped off of him, and now it's down to Narrate and Zekin, the latter, who's just too sharp. 3 for the round, and Happy Way, as brilliant as he's been, he's going to have to bring a world-beating performance to deal with this. Got their positioning broken.
This is no problem.
5 health for Happy Way. Narrate needs to get in here, and he should be able to finish the job. Sentinels keep it a 5-round lead.
Who's but a moment away from being able to get a shot off. Trip is going to get this information for Happy Way.
Top mid play.
I mean, he just might want to swing. Yeah, this Trip would have to be broken, though. That'll give up the game. Second wants to go through. He wants to split this B side from 3 angles.
Relay ball doesn't connect on anyone, and he's not happy. Not ready for Happy Way to be tucked in on that corner.
That was a cosmetic stun if I've ever seen one. Raga wants to get into backside. He wants to anchor Happy Way duo. The 2 stars of XLG, the best aimers here to anchor.
Oh, okay, that's good. Happy Way at least able to make the trade. Normally Raga's used to being set up by Happy Way, but here they're going to have to go with solo. Delta's around the cyber cage. Narrate was able to get board tied and push up the right. And he is a multi-swing in theory coming out from Market, but they don't respect John's position. Even in numbers, Mini though has to step up to the stage. And it's a big ass to Coconuts. Doesn't fall far from the tree, in fact, right on the noggin of John. Games. This one though looks like Senna focused on their own game. Let's see if Raga though can get into the works and show some of his mastery.
Let's go quick, hides in the dark cover for but a moment, and then a double peek out with Coconut. She's going to acquire that orb. As the rest of the team sort of passively watch towards mid, wanting to ensure that no one from Sentinels is getting too active, that they're not trying to throw an early haymaker at them. As the second half begins, Shock Dart to break a potential trip, but it's not there. To break another potential trip in Market, that's also not there. It's just a cam watching, which Raga will delete.
But I like this early round activity for XLG, just trying to take this Sentinel util off the map.
Look at this on the opposite side of the map. Happy Way he's in the B site while the team is trying to execute onto A.
I don't know if Celsius is aware. Oh, he's not! Happy Way's able to get the jump on him, and now quick pivot back as you would expect. This guy, he's been the star so far for XLG. Previously, you know, considered a brilliant but often overlooked player in Raga's shadow. Happy Way's really taken to this debut on stage.
And now it's actually Raga who's left in this lurk position. Trip is going to have to be broken by Narrate. Just aware that he has some opportunities to take tools against players as the spike goes down. Planted for B main on the stairs.
Zekin hoping an opportunity might present itself. But XLG disciplined in this post plant.
Yeah, Midi has a full kit to play with in this post plant. Just ready in B main with the stun.
Aftershock already getting drawn out now. Relay bolt throw on the side. It's Happy Way, the one who set things up. But all of a sudden, Sentinels back in with numbers. Midi trying to hold it down. Has 2 flashes to work with. And Raga tucked to his left. Surely you can do something with this. But instead, Narrate just ruins him. John taken down through the smoke. But does he know Bang is on the defuse? He found the timing. And Raga's arrived. Close one though. Sentinels really in a commanding position before Raga got to them. Fault line playoff might be a little swing here. Fever at least though not stunned up enough to prevent him from letting loose these balls with the Spectre. Sentinels feed themselves into the wood chipper. Making for awful good fertilizer out there in LA.
That was a wave of utility, a nice trap setup from Sen, but simply not the weaponry to capitalize off of that effort. Celsius all alone and with little to no hope at this point. XLG do a great job absorbing those swings. Even stunned up, dealing with Zekin, who was sliding his way in there, creating space so the follow-up swings could arrive. But it's not enough to do anything. Just a bit of damage to Midi. This is exactly what XLG need to get back into this half. They know they're right back in the mix.
Well, Celsius trying to get busy.
Trying to get paid, trying to get a little extra cash from the bundle.
Listen, it's about just...
He is pretty solid with a couple fully upgraded rifles. Standard first recon to get towards elbow. Broken, however, and Raga wants to slow down.
But for how long? Sees what he needs to at that shoulder peak. Bottom line comes in and Ragas tries to soar into the side, but Narrate clips his wings.
What a sick off angle from Narrate. That was lovely.
Bang was hoping to set up a crossfire with him. It's still a possibility. Elsewhere, Happyway is always a threat. I think Zelsis has learned his lesson about leaving that B site early.
He just throws down a trip straight up in main, which are pretty easy to break now. You don't have to commit a paint shells or aftershock like you did on the very old version of Sunset. That's going to be taken out by Happyway, and now Zelsis has to fear a little bit, though that cam is going to cover the full cross. The one he's got thrown up in market is XLG, taking their time, peeling away from A, working into mid.
Zekin likely going to be in a 1vx scenario in a moment.
Cam broken. Happyway working his way into B.
I like that idea. Let himself be pinged, but the timing doesn't quite line up. Zelsis realizes, yes, yep, Happyway is here, as always. Able to get the better of him. Winning that individual fight out is huge. And this would be a pretty strong conversion of the buy round for Sentinels getting back into this half. Fever's brought down. 4 rifles carried into round 16. Relay bolt thrown to at least give Zekin a safe retreat. Narrate here. Might have an opportunity. Ragas pushing in on me. He's so deep, and Narrate's having to deal with him. Thought he was stunned up briefly by the relay bolt. You really declawed XLG with that pick off on the Neon. Fever very patient on this line, but Zelsis doesn't give him enough leg to make use of. Remember, Narrate is in this A side. He's in the A side, creeping up on the Prancer. What a timing! Sentinels looking dynamic here. 2 rounds in a row after a shaky start to the second half.
XLG just getting far too disconnected from each other.
He talks about how stronger the voices are on this Sentinels team. Finding your niche a bit harder. It's going to be a fast hit over towards the A side of the map, though. Wide second already on the line. Raga chunked down to 10. John is able to finish the job. The classic 1-2 punch. As the Outlaw rings out, it's Narrate again. Always in an awkward spot.
All of XLG now just stuck in elbow. The entire Sentinels team here. You can always expect Zekin to have the Outlaw on hand on one of these rounds where the opposing team has a depleted economy.
Happyway can only do this for so long. He still needs to help Midi get into the site. There is none of that breach util for the attackers to play off of, and only 2 stingers. And a team on defense that is respecting them enough to hold these lines, not good chasing kills.
Midi is just hoping that someone may overextend and push into elbow, but it's simply not going to be the case. The hope for XLG is going to be this next round, the full buy, where they have both initiator ultimates to work with. However, it's likely going to be the exact same case for SEN. Midi dealt with Happyway. Now spotted out, and it's only a matter of time for him. John would love to get involved, and that's going to get him the Rolling Thunder. The next round looking to be explosive.
Harness Fury, Rolling Thunder, Neural Theft. Plenty to work with, especially if you can find an edge, a first kill, a ping on someone with a recon bolt, a post plant. There's some work that needs to be done to set up those win conditions for XLG.
Dark cover being thrown down there over on the B site, just to make it seem like there could be a lurk coming in. Happyway has certainly been happy to do that on his lonesome, but the bulk of the players are working towards A. Bang! Oh my god, barely caught twice on the run. Raga's hungry.
Happyway actually pushed up the left side at the same time, so great explosive moment there for XLG. Again, it's Happyway and Raga leading the...
This is exactly what they needed. They have to worry about Link right now. There's no smoke to cover it up, and Narrate is just happy to get a forward position. This could certainly catch someone off guard.
Narrate will need to make a correction, but he does. God, he's been good here. Trying to back away now. Rolling Thunder comes through from the attack as XLG want to disrupt Sentinels as they make this push out of Link. Timing is everything, though. Rolling Thunder. God, they're using all of it as well. Nightfall expended now by Sentinels. Narrate not quite ready to get up on this line. Good damage though through the wall, and Zelsis has come to the rescue. Now, the Fate can keep moving. Raga is here in halls alongside Fever. Try and keep eyes on this. But that fast lane makes it tough, and Raga's chunked down to 8. These next couple of shots, critical for the duelists, so they do get second. But now it's on Viva. 1v2, Zelsus on the line. Viva down to 20, and that'll do it. They've done enough, Sentinels, to get themselves to map point.
XLG just could not extract enough value out of the rolling XLG to take them here. Historically, a home for Sentinels since the John Cutie and Zelsus iteration of this team began. And they are as good as ever. This would require a monumental comeback, but second is too good right now.
In a market that would least XLG have been able to set up a staging ground. This will leave Zelsus looking a little bit stranded, but do they check this corner? Absolutely not! A freebie for Zelsus there as Raga deals with it, but it's electrified play from Zeki. And on a fundamental level, there's not much of a game. Sentinels, a cut above China's #1.
Second just dropping a 20 bomb in the first dominant force, and is even better right now. That was an all-star performance on map 1. XLG looking out of sorts, having some moments where they looked scrambled, nervous. They need to get their heads in the game right now, or SEN will have ran the gauntlet, beaten every team from China. We'll move on to the next part of the bracket.
They're the only NA team in the upper bracket remaining. Narrate has looked inspired today. Always unexpected, ridiculous off angles, round after round. Sheer wall drawn out here by Happy Way. And the rest of XLG starting to file into rubble. Rotates being drawn across the map by the defenders.
That's due to Bang just jump spotting on C, pressure into tree. Raga in mid-AR stock. This is a bizarre situation. Zelsus doesn't want to give them an inch, doesn't want to swing.
Gonna wait, and there he goes. Emerges with a right click, and it's another one for the 5 merchant. And the door shuts. Narrate with the swing.
Spike down A.
Zelsus eventually brought down. Narrate also both offenders from the defense side quelled, but the spike's loose. Zeka might have a timing here. Disrespect the poison orb and push through seems to be the plan. Yeah, I for one am here for it. Step up on the site, Paranoia cut through. Happy Way tucked along with Coconut. This paint shell definitely going to rattle the cage a little bit. There it is, Happy Way brought down by it, but Coconut and John. The one-way being respected. John swings while Paranoid, and Coconut salvages the round. We have a dual Marshall take on this round. Okay, so he is a wrench in the works there over at Rubble. Also confirms there's only 1 to 2 players, so SEN have every reason to stay here on the C side of the map.
Viva got right out of that drone to get the trade. A lot of noise here being made by Raga. Going to open the door as well. Just try and keep the focus to send towards C and B, where they've been gamble stacking this entire time. As Viva on the opposite side of the map has been able to control the rubble area, hasn't been pushed. This is an easy rotate call into the very vacant site.
And SEN are just going to play catch up here. And I know we mentioned it a couple times, but I don't think it can be overstated how different XLG's showing on this Sunset map has been from their play in the lead up to this tournament. The same play that qualified them. Online, they never fought alone, had great setups, were always on a crossfire, or at least a good spacing double swing scenario. Can they find their footing here? They don't have much time to get it together.
And you really saw Raga online at his best playing that. Yoru especially, Chamberon's occasion as well. The Neon was so disconnected from the team on Sunset. That has to be rectified.
Being here on Viva, SEN trying to get some bang for their buck at the end of the round. Important round to convert on for Sentinels. Great start. Look at that pop out of B, and there's 2 players sat on that line. Coconut and Happy Way out of the game. Once again, another player doubles off the line. Bang gets out, realizing that Raga's coming for him now too.
And I'm sure XLG wanted to get towards B, but realized they just have to get into A fast after all that.
Planted.
Fighting occurs in main. A lot of damage done to Narrate in second. Perhaps if they had real weapons, those would have just been straight up kills, but maybe the low HP could be enough for XLG to get back into this.
Sees in towards Pit, that is definitely going to catch on the midi, decaying him down, holding him in place, and so Viva gets overwhelmed. No chance for midi to try and trade there from lower Pit. Gonna have to be a fast play now here from Sentinels, and when midi tries to gum up the works, it's Raga dealt with. And Sentinels give XLG just enough rope to trip themselves within that round. Giving some space, waiting to double or triple up. He'll be able to regen up some of that shield to get onto the site. Once again, Sen are going to allow for this, Wyatt. They want the full retake behind, they're still guarding.
It's going to be ripped right now. Vargas pressed up very far forward, and with these weak weapons, it's just all too easy.
John and Zelsus combined for 4. Finally, Midi will have access to his weapon, but not before Narrate cuts him to the quick. Sentinels very quickly dropped pistol. They have evened up the game.
Outrageous value from the early steel garden that Zelsus got access to.
Another valuable defense side round for Sen. They feel like they're worth 2 attack side rounds on this map sometimes. Zekin sees enough. Draws a beat on Coconut with the showstopper, and that's the Omen gone. No more control util for XLG to get into any of these sites. It means they can't cover off stairs, they can't cover off B upper. They can't smoke for a safe trigger of the shield wall on C either.
Looks like the split attempt for B is coming as the fault line goes down. Nothing to cut off Heaven. Raga, does he want to push for more? Going to slide across, trying to get someone to swing off of him. Relay bolt decent, forces Sen back. Spike down.
But they can't stall the relay. They don't have any dark covers. Rolling Thunder though comes out. XLG hoping to fight with him, but there wasn't really an opportunity. Decken gets in there, down by Midi Stinger, then Shorty, yep, will get the job done. Smoke there over towards that baby door direction. Viva needs to make a decision here. Can he peek on a timing with Happyway? It's awkward with the Marshall to try and get a retake, and now he's going to be revealed essentially by the Prowler. Happyway taking pot shots, but doesn't quite have the accurate spot location. He's not trained on the mark. And that's a defusing. Viva looking a little uncomfortable towards the end of the round. He'll get Narrate, but that is 3 in a row from the America squad.
That's simply nothing the XLG IGL could get accomplished. Trapped in Baby Door. Anyhow, on this full buy, early A fight is going to commence. XLG getting out fast. Raga using that lane to get forward. Sen want none of it. They peel back to the site.
Looks like Coconut ulted for some information. Zekin down, that's a duelist out of the way. Happyway leads. It gets aggressive, but bangs up a sprain down through the box. A good TP away, and Narrate picks up the line for him. Again, defensive trading, very, very strong for Sentinels. And they swing around that corner, bang his handle. Viva, though, low. Sen have given up this A site now.
You know that John retreats temporarily. Zelsus is silently working downstairs, hoping that... Oh my god, what a double face! That's beautiful from XLG.
And that our drone isn't going in John's direction. He is able to slip past it. Coconut, though, finds it. John knows approximately where the Sova was.
Fully needed so far. Happyway continues to pick up some of the slack. Viva has a great round there with a Guardian, too. Sen have had a great economy building, though, so they're on an easy full buy here.
This time, no pomp and circumstance, no fanfare about this A-side take. XLG are allowed to simply walk up.
Lightball could come out from there. It's stunned up.
He's got to get right across to the side. They know he's here. Zelsus gets the drop on him. And the Razorvine means that nobody can follow up on the Neon. Oh, God. No one is looking in Narrate.
Last player standing.
Once again, it's the timing that XLG are just not ready for. In this round, the round here is really going to hurt the Chinese #1 squad. They pop up for air. Hard-fought round 1. And immediately sent packing again.
They just want to go for the full A, execute fast.
The top representative from their scene. Access gained to the C side, but as usual, Sen will allow for this. It'll be a flood behind the Nightfall to get back in.
The 2 hero rifles and the 2 best aimers from XLG. Raga wants to push forward. He's hungry for that first kill.
Oh no! Raga wins it out. He's first in the game. Eventually he'll fall, but he feels like he's probably done enough now. Narrate wanted to get ahead of this. In fact, all of Sentinels disrespecting. Here's that flood. Midi on the line, marked down. Of course, decayed quite low by that Nightfall. Coconut still gets his.
Exactly
Viva going to be pinged out to the back of the site now. Nuruk left here for the attackers, and Happyways somehow wended his way behind Sentinels. It's all on John. Plenty to see, a lot of targets to go for, and he knows, of course, those pulsing tethers where he needs to look.
Unfortunate.
Happyway gives him a tickle. He's got 3 bullets left in the chamber. No time to reload them. An unlikely round win for XLG, but a much needed one at that. To be found for Sentinels. Zekin seems to think so. Door toggled. Bang takes an off angle, turns the flash. That's going to be checked for. Relay bomb comes in, but they're not ready for this. Second in the corner. Narrate from Upper.
One enemy
Picture
remaining.
perfect hole from Sentinels. Stopping XLG in their tracks.
XLG threw just so much utility into tree, but
Hunter's Fury deployed onto the map, and XLG have unfettered access now to this B site. John will be forced away by this aftershock.
with some great util from them to get in. Heads up hot from Narrate. We'll get the positioning of Happy Way. The one hero rifle for XLG will have to come up huge with a flank timing, something.
The paranoia, maybe a seize to let them flood in behind, but they don't have the rim, or rather the breach flashes to work with. So far, so good. Still weaker weaponry for the attackers. Paranoia connects. Narrate deals with Happy Way, and Viva now takes some pot shots in through that smoke. John has to get on the defuse, but Coconut's already found some damage. A better weapon, maybe. It's half. John will be protected by Zekin. 6 defense side rounds for Sentinels. Have to make the coaching booth pleased.
It doesn't get much closer than that. John down to 1. Slips through their grasp. They've got a full buy. They've got a rolling thunder.
SEN actually throw a more decisive A-side variation. A bit of rubble presence. It doesn't pan out no XLG or elsewhere. They've got so much, a veritable ton of util to try and fight through it again. Good sliding past the sheer wall. Where's the backup supposed to be for Raga?
Early in this half, they were able to get rid of those walls and then work the map, try and go for an execute late. These fast hits are just not going to pan out when you're not getting accurate information on the Vice. You just cannot run into Zelsis setups like that.
Are they assuming that Zelsis is at A again? There's no attempt to force that wall out.
Being forced to teleport away now, so XLG are going to get a bit of control towards rubble. 40 seconds or so left on the clock. Still rolling thunder in hand. Will there be an opportunity to even use that to try and get back in this round where they're at a man disadvantage?
30 seconds left.
They want to pivot back to C. There's still so much util here. Happy Way tries to find a timing. He does get in first, clears out some of the thorns.
Shell could end him though. Nope, Zelsis gets to infer a com-level flank play from Happy Way over the course of this map, but he's too low to do anything there at that site. And that's a save here for XLG, whichever way you slice it. They'll have high hopes to make use of this Rolling Thunder overdrive couple in the last round of the half.
That's going to be their only hope, because the cash is lower than low. Raga has the Bucky with the overdrive at that. They're getting out fast on A. It's Bang actually who's picked up the Odin right now.
No haunt pings though, nothing yet to play off of.
They have dodged the Prowler that Narrate just sent to get some info, so perhaps some false information. XLG, they want to contact off the back of that Prowler, not connecting, press up a bit far forward. It's a baby door. They want to get into this big site right now. Raga going forward with the overdrive. Vulnerable up. Can he even find a target? How deep does he want to push?
John still respects it. They're trying to set up a multi-phase situation. Raga down to 49. He's got himself 2. And that's going to have to be enough. Joe's up for second. Fire! Oh, man! And the paint shells! He's doing it all!
Not only does he stop the plant, but that's the Rolling Thunder gone.
Now Coconut trying to figure out if there's a way to make use of this from the shadows. And instead he goes to the Shadow Realm. Zekin and Bang are in no hurry. That's out to Happy Way, who's definitely been the most inspired component of this XLG outfit to try and make this respectable 5 rounds in this first half.
30
If he
seconds
can get
left.
this plant down safely, which he does, we'll have an opportunity to throw that neural threat. There we go. He knows where to look.
Now sometimes, even if you know what's coming, doesn't make it any easier. It's Zekin with 3. And SEN complete yet another 8-4 half. We said they had one of their 3 win conditions in that first map and it wasn't enough. This time they got 0. Raga gets off to a start. Let's see if it's going to be a good one. Zelsis has just had his number the entire game, and this round is no exception. Coconut's on a flank here, but they hear the footsteps, the pitter-patter. Bang is ready for it. And Fever
Last player standing.
and steps up. John is just too clean with it. It's on Happy Way, who's not been able to reprise that incredible performance from Sunset. The 2 has been a little quiet.
Is it a good idea from XLG? Sure. but the execution falls to pieces. Where are the trades? Where is the good spacing that we saw from them in their run? It just crumbles in that moment. Can Heavyweight be a hero? Catches John on the cross. Isolated 1v1, but it's won out by Bang.
So this is, well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. XLG are praying to whatever god they believe in that Sentinels blunder into the B site. Eventually they're going to have to go hunting themselves. They have zero info. Outside of this cam that's watching Mound, that so far has yielded nothing. Maybe a multi-push off this B main position, but Happyway, he had it all to do on that corner with the Sheriff. It'll be tough to pull off.
And with the Cypher pressed up so close there, dying alone. SEN know they're just supposed to accelerate into this C site. The rest of XLG with classics only. They're the only one here to deal with them so far. Swing's going to come from Zelsis. Raga gets one trade.
Yeah, this thing is here for Sentinels. Will have plenty of application. Raga's got a Bulldog to hand currently. There is a the quad stack that XLG tried to set up at the start of the round. Just got used again.
Now look, you have that deep cam placed into Mound by Happyway early again. Sentinels are opting to leave Zelsis in this position, keep their options open for a potential pivot back as they want to re-clear towards Mound in this mid-round. Narrate does have a Prowler to get out here, potential Haunt as well. Stun onto Zelsis, they want to isolate this fight. Raga pushing forward, great double peek. I love that proactivity to find an advantage. That's going to give away the game as well. Look at the rotation from XLG on the top of the map, taking out that Sentinel. They know the hit is going to be coming into A.
Zeken's got one job and one job only, but Viva had the stopping power of a Mack truck to take the race out of the round. Bang, drill with bullets through the boxes. Narrate getting just the kind of engagement this Stinger player wants. John's actually got a rifle to play with.
One enemy remaining.
He will be the last one standing.
Spike down A.
Right for Prince, John steps up, knocks it down. Like you mentioned, not a great bonus here from SEN, but XLG.
By the way, is they're trying to get him stuck. Raga, again, able to find an opener. And it's a pivot back as Zeken is just taking this forward position. Can Happyway catch him? Yes, he does. Zeken shot in the side.
SEN here making a couple of rough assumptions. And Narrate is getting involved here with the Odin. No one getting pinged out by that recon. Bang with a smoke on upper, but still no plant. That spike is loose.
This is XLG just taking their time, ready to pounce when the spike gets tapped. 15 seconds left.
He's playing close, and Raga. That is a full Ferrari pick there for Nang.
10
Nicely
seconds
jumped.
left.
7 seconds left. Still needs to be a plant at some point. John taken down by Coconut. Off that push from stairs.
Last player standing.
And it's all on Bang. Bulldog with Midi and Viva standing in his way. Wraps around, but XLG are doubled up there. Not willing to take 1v1, but Bang's not going to give him the bloody choice. 4 kills with a Red Bull clutch. It's in once again.
Zeken taking the peek. What? Whiffs onto Midi. Rapid Sheriff shot.
And then Midi can just have himself an outlaw. All of a sudden, the weaponry from XLG looks much improved.
That was bold from Zeken. He's swinging potentially into multiple angles where he could have even gotten just traded out, but now Midi has picked up the outlaw. A couple light armor / regen for SEN as they walk towards these trips necessary to break it. Spike is here.
Nightfall now available here for Narrate. Bang also with it from the shadows. A lot to work with, and the spam is going to be deadly from this Odin. A very permeable piece of wall stands between SEN and XLG, and Raga hopes to step up. Razorvine here is definitely going to be respected. Still not yet a plant, and Narrator's gone down. The spike is loose. John's going to come forward. It's him and Delsis versus the entirety of XLG's combined might. And Delsis with the spray down gets him there. What an absurd way to end it. Sentinels descend into bloodlust.
That could be the crux of XLG winning this and staying in the game.
There's the smoke. This might be a pretty quick one. SEN really angling for a powerful post plant with a Viper's Pit in the mix. Coconut feels the pressure. It's immense. Zeken now with the showstopper holding on to this for a time. To upper. What's the timing going to be?
30 seconds
able to
left.
avoid it. Here is that Viper's pit though. All of that retake, U2 are going to start to be expended by XLG. They're going to try to find a way into this pit. Coconut's done so. Seconds down. Johnny's down, and so is the pit. On top of the Razorvine. XLG have found some step, but Bang and Narrate still stand in their way, and Bang, careful on the corner. Swing on Ragarit's low, the slide is good. And now it's Narrate. He'll be revealed in a moment, but he'll do the same. Throw that C's in. Spray around the corner. Raga to half, and out the way. Keeps XLG's head above the surging tides.
Their star duo. And to at the very least, put SEN onto an eco. Just given they did so much damage in those prior rounds, they certainly walked away from feeling like they should have even won. SEN, all players stacked up amount, probably gets the info.
What? The long range stinger. Coconut, who stood tall in that last retake, has already fallen. Chance for a gun recovery. Bucky Town is exactly where Raga gets dragged. Narrator's low. That is a rifle pick up for Zach, and John goes to work. XLG thrust onto the stage, thrust into the spotlight to speak on behalf of their region against the juggernaut of SEN that has dispatched their countrymen one by one by one. Now put it all on Viva. Sentinels have no incentive to push off this site whatsoever. They'll await the chime of the victory music. Viva down at 15 is all too much to do for XLG and Sentinels! The Reaper to visit the last door of China. The side quest is done. And it's sunny skies in Sen City as they are the last remaining America's team in the upper bracket.
Absolutely obliterating the top seed from China on their international debut. That's as clean as it gets. Zels is performing so well on that defensive half of the map. You can't help but continue to talk about second Masterclass Neon on map 1 Sunset. He is playing some